Hey everyone, Cyclone here from CYCIEprodz on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hoping you guys are having a very good day. I still am in some serious spine pain that hopefully can get settled. I have some meetings with the facility this week, but let's get into a very interesting topic. I know that it's just the beginning of 2025. We're just 1 month in. But at the end of the year, before the clock hits 2026, I think it is incredibly possible and probable that the 2025 Gym of the Year will be Khabib Nurmagomedov's EAGLES MMA. Now look, when you do some digging, there's some shadiness behind that gym that you don't really find at gyms in, say, North America, or quite frankly, even in Brazil or some other locations. So you have to look at the big picture. Obviously, the gym all started with Khabib's father's school. Let's just do it that way, because I always mess up his dad's name, the pronunciation. But EAGLES MMA only launched less than 10 years ago. With the help of, I want to get this guy's name right, Khabib Nurmagomedov's money. And he is a Russian oligarch to the highest extent, worth a couple of $1 billion. And he is actually the main money man behind EAGLES MMA. It's not Khabib. Khabib is only like 45 to 48% ownership in the place, even though it's his gym after his father's place. But Mr. Magomedov has quite a colorful background. Early 2018, he was arrested for some organized crime charges, and then at the after Khabib won the lightweight championship, he actually begged Vladimir Putin to give him a pardon, which he didn't do. Not shocking. He sat a couple of months in jail. Then at the end of 2018, multiple fighters out of EAGLES MMA were arrested for attempted murder plots. Then just last year, the middle of 2024, the Russian version of the FBI investigated the gym big time under the coordinated deadly attacks that were going on in Dagestan. Now, I'm not saying Khabib has anything to do with this, okay? But there could be, and probably is, some leeches in the establishment that are like a form of cancer to the establishment. Is he going to do anything about it? No, not at all. He is their brothers. And what is my neighbor doing? Oh boy. Now, is the gym legit, or is it just like a mafia front, like a construction place or a plumbing place or a nightclub? Who's to say? I mean, there is obviously lots of training. I mean, they train there. He's going to hit my truck, isn't he? No, he's not. That was close. But these Dagestanis have this quiet confidence about them, and Obviously, they all have the grappling skill. Is he going to hit me now? Nope, he's coming close to hitting my truck. But all they do is train, eat, train, eat, train. Okay? And it's almost like the United States version of the hood for basketball, right? Everything takes a back seat, quite frankly, to training. And because there is some lacking stuff that they do in the gym. Now, look, every gym is known for something, right? Like Jackson Wink is known for a good kicking game. You have Onyx with Trevor Whitman for striking. You have AKA, which is the pathway for these guys to come into the States for striking. You have wrestling from ATT. Okay, so everybody's known for something. Now, you have to assume that with them having a pathway into the U.S. through Javier Mendez and AKA, you have to wonder a little bit, what, if anything, does Javier Mendez know? If there's something shady coming out of Dagestan. And obviously there's a lot of shady stuff coming out of Dagestan, whether you want to admit it or not. That's just the way it is. But let's look at it like this. There are right now 23 fighters, okay, split between the UFC, PFL/Bellator, Dagestan CF, as well as UAE Warriors and Fight Nights Global. Say that 10 times fast. And everybody knows Dagestani's training is sort of like their version of Big Bear from California and, training up in, the mountains of Colorado. Okay? But they are relentless when it comes to the ground game. And it's so fluid. It's nonstop. And that is good enough to take out 90% of other fighters' well-rounded styles. Obviously, you have somebody like Merab, who is able to neutralize Omar, who, he did break his hand, so you got to cut him a little bit of slack, but there's a reason why fighters like Bilal, Demetrius Johnson, even Sugar Sean, after Merab beat him, went there for a little bit. There's a reason why fighters go there. It's just a ground game at a whole nother level. As good as the wrestling is at ATT, the ground game at I don't know what my neighbor is doing. The ground game at their spot is just so much better than the wrestling at ATT because there's so many distractions here. As hardworking as North American and other European countries' fighters are, okay, or even Brazilian fighters are, there's always distractions. When you don't have any distractions, when it's just training, which is what these guys only do, to the detriment of family almost. And I'm not saying they don't love family, but family takes a back seat. It puts them at a level that you just can't match. And you can't understand unless you live in that life. Now, as a whole, would I like to see these guys improve on certain things? Sure. Cutting off the cage would be nice. Head movement, staying off the center line would be nice. Even the good strikers coming out of Eagles MMA seem to keep their head on the center line. I don't know if maybe Javier Mendez just isn't doing a good enough job helping them with that stuff. I mean, you got to wonder what they would be like if Trevor Whitman was in their air, or maybe a Henry Hooft at Killcliff. But all that being said, I mean, look, the MMA media doesn't give a rat's ass what dirty things are going on in the business, behind the scenes, the way the sausage is made. So I could see them all, as of, right now, despite the past couple of weeks of shaky ground for Eagles MMA, voting for them as Gym of the Year. And they do technically deserve it. And there are so many more fighters on the verge of signing pro contracts out of that gym. It's just like Niagara Falls. It is a constant flow of fighters coming where they're just going to just overwhelm the system. And there's a possibility where, outside of the women's divisions, where they go and take titles in every division. It's possible. Across every organization, which is basically, stateside UFC and PFL, now that there is no more Bellator. And before you guys say, yeah, but they might have a 17, 18, 19-0 record, but who did they fight? Well, all those little organizations in Russia are sort of like their version of LFA here in the States. When somebody gets signed to a UFC contract out of LFA, nobody says, oh, he has a great record, but who did he fight? You got to look at it like that, too. Now, personally, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. There should be a little bit of investigating done about the gym. But like I said, MMA journalists just don't give a rat's ass. But I do also think that they can capture Gym of the Year just because of their talent alone. I'm not saying like there's any, I don't want to use the T word, but any terrorists in the gym, but you got to wonder all their actions away from the gym, away from the cage, if they have any. I mean, it is with a mindset in that neck of the woods, to be a little bit radical. You could hear them in post-fight speeches, but once again, that is not necessarily something on the mind of the MMA media, because you're all just yes men. Outside of me, I ask the tough questions. I've gotten in trouble by asking some tough questions to some fighters, but that's it for today, guys. Do me a favor. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment and question. Let me know what you think about this. Even though it's just 1 month into the year, do you think Eagles MMA can snag MMA Gym of the Year? Let me know. Check the description box for, the store page and the Facebook page and all that fun stuff. And until the next video, Cyclone saying, peace out, homies.